Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Morning.
Let's just give everyone a few moments to get connected.
Yes.
Do feel free, as we're waiting for everyone to connect, to cameras, audio, to say hello in the chat. Tell us where you're joining us from today. Yesterday, we had 18 countries represented, at least in the chat. We got a bit of an international event, so I wonder if we can do even better today, if we can beat 18 countries. Let's see how far we can go, right? Thank you, everyone, for joining. I can see that some of you were here in yesterday's meeting. Some of you are new. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, we've got people from Sweden. Brilliant.
Fantastic. We've got Belgium. We've got Romania.
Oh, wow.
Joining from Spain as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Fantastic. So please feel free to keep chatting there and tell us where you're joining us from. Welcome along to Entrepreneurship for All Women's Academy. This is session 2 of 3. We had a wonderful time yesterday. We heard from 4 fantastic women entrepreneurs who told us their stories of success. And today, Jan is going to take us through a slightly different topic. We're looking at leadership. Is that right, Jan?
And yes, we're looking at the future-proof leadership as part of a discussion today. Yeah.
Fantastic. So before I give the hosting duties over to Jan, I'll just tell you a little bit about Entrepreneurship for All in general. We are an initiative of the European Union, and we are running fantastic online courses to support entrepreneurs, both new and emerging entrepreneurs, but also experienced entrepreneurs. We've got 4 levels, 4 learning pathways, and they look at 5 different topics. That is sustainability, digital, finance, entrepreneurship, and the key topic for the room today is women's entrepreneurship. We have dedicated courses for women entrepreneurs. So I will be sharing some messages in the chat to tell you a little more about that. You can go and explore, register, and so on. I will hand over to Jan in just a second, but just to let you know, we are recording today's session. If you don't want to be seen, please feel free to turn your camera off. The chat is always open. If you have any questions for any of us, please feel free to pop them in the chat. We might get a chance to hear from you as well. So please, Jan, over to you.
Thank you, Megan. So what I'm going to do now is going to share the screen so everyone can see the slides. Okay.
Okay, we can see it now.
Can you see it now? Yeah, it's going to
Yes, we can.
over. Brilliant. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's session on future-proofing women's leadership, entrepreneurship, AI, and sustainability. And my name is Yan. I'm from Enterprise Evolution, and today we'll explore how women entrepreneurs can leverage technology, innovation, and sustainability to build a resilient and future-proof business. So whether you are starting or looking to grow your business, and I hope this session will provide you with some actionable insights to stay ahead in a rapidly changing world. And I'm very excited to have 2 incredible guest speakers join us today, and they will each bring a unique perspective on future-proofing business and leadership. And they are Anne-Charlotte Joubert, founder and CEO of Wonderfund, and Chiara Menini, who is the Regional Education Program Manager at EIT Food. And then they will join us later on of the session. So I think, we'll start the session today by, before we talk about the future, let's start by reflecting on the journey of women entrepreneurs historically, in terms past and present. Women have faced unique challenges in business. And despite these challenges, women have been incredibly resilient and innovative. And here we've outlined some of the most common challenges women entrepreneurs face, along with some of the solutions they have used to overcome those challenges. The first one is about accessing finance, financial challenges. Many women entrepreneurs struggle to secure funding for their business. So the solution is to build strong networks and applying for some women-focused funding opportunities and exploring alternative funding sources. And as Megan introduced, in Entrepreneurship4All platform, we have a pathway dedicated for women entrepreneurs, and we explore a lot of different funding opportunities. So for those of you interested looking opportunities in the funding landscape in Europe, please have a look and join the E4 learning platform and sign up today. And on the list of these challenges, the second one is about gender bias and stereotypes. Gender bias and stereotypes can create barriers, but surrounding yourself with advocates and knowing your rights can empower you to overcome them. And the third one on the list is the lack of representation in leadership and decision-making. So women are often underrepresented in leadership roles. So expanding your network, finding mentorship can help you bridge this gap and open doors to new opportunities. And the last one on the list, you'll see the imposter syndrome, self-doubt. Many women struggle with imposter syndrome and self-doubt. So the key is to charge your worth, negotiate with confidence, and adopt a CEO mindset and reframe failure as an opportunity for growth. So now I'd like you to have a think, feel free to put in the chat about, do any of these challenges resonate with your experience? Have you faced any difficulties access funding or dealing with the gender bias? Have you ever had any self-doubt in entrepreneurial journey? And what barriers have you faced and how have you overcome them? So those are the questions I want you just, give yourself a couple of minutes to think over it. And then maybe if you're happy to share that, that'd be brilliant. We want to hear your voice as we go along with the session. Just let me quickly have a look at the chat. We have lots of people join us. Brilliant. Just move the chat now. Yeah, we have seen people saying about the imposter syndrome, access to funding, definitely about the self-doubt. And so thank you everyone for sharing their challenges and difficulties while on the entrepreneurial journey.
Jan, may I say something? Because
yes, Mariana, yeah.
When I read there about the imposter syndrome and self-doubt, yes, I've been there so many times, and I think I still am quite often.
Yes.
And I think that one of the things that we need to do is that we have to share that with everybody. I think that's a normal, and someone wrote it there. That might be something that is something that men face as well. So I think that is, by sharing with others, this amazing support group that some of us have around us can help us see that yes, we are capable of, and that we have the support of others, and that we can tackle anything. So I mean, I think that sharing, it's important to get that support or that self-confidence push that we all need sometimes.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mariana, to share, your experience. And I think, today we have one of the guest speakers going to talk about the growth mindset, so that is really important as well to overcome, the imposter syndrome, about the self-doubt. Thank you so much. So, feel free to, drop your notes in the chat. It's good to having that discussion and interaction with each other. But looking ahead, so we just look at the past and present, so looking ahead. So the future of entrepreneurship is being shaped by three major forces: AI, digital transformation, and sustainability. And these trends are not just buzzwords, they are fundamentally changing how business operates. And for women entrepreneurs, embracing this change will help us stay competitive and build a sustainable business. For example, AI can help you automate repetitive tasks, allowing to focus on strategic growth. Digital transformation ensures your business stays relevant in a tech-driven world. And sustainability is no longer optional. The consumers and investors are increasingly demanding that business operate responsibly. And we'll obviously look at those in a bit more detail later. So here's another question for you to have a think. So what does the future of women entrepreneurs look like, for you? If your perspective, we definitely want to, hear your voice as well. So have a think about these are the key areas we're going to focus on. Do you agree with us, or there might be things, you think will be, shape the landscape of the future for women entrepreneurs? I'll just give you a couple minutes to just have a think. Let's have a look at the chat. Great to see more, people sharing their challenges and difficulties. So that's brilliant. Okay, so we are now delighted to welcome our first guest speaker, Anne-Charlotte Joubert, who is the founder and the CEO of Wonderfund. She is a leader in EU funding, connecting stakeholders to tackle society challenges. And she started her business with a clear vision of creating a positive impact. And her journey highlights the importance of resilience, innovation, and a purpose-driven leadership. So hi, Anne-Charlotte.
Hello.
Anne, yeah?
Be here.
Yeah. Lovely to see you today. And I think, we'll start the question about, tell us about yourself and your business and, about Her Fund and Wonderfund and what inspired you to start the business.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, hi everyone, and thank you so much for inviting me. It's a real pleasure to be here. So yeah, well, about myself, you said a lot already. So I'm currently sitting in Paris now, but I'm now based in Sweden, in the south of Sweden. So I grew up in Paris. I lived 6 years in Brussels, had my first kid there, and then moved to the south of Sweden because I got a job opportunity there, and my husband is Swedish, so love took me to the north. And I'm a mother of 2 young girls, 6 and 9, which is also probably why I've started many of the things I'm doing today. And yeah, and the rest you said. So I have expertise in European funding. I've worked as consultant when I was living in Brussels, and then I started to work with pan-European large-scale research infrastructure, first in the big science business, and now I'm working with the life science. So this is also something where I started to, be more connected to, the research part and the innovation part, which also led me to grow this interest around innovation and how can we boost innovation in Europe and so on. And why did I create Her Fund, Wonderfund? Basically, it's very simple. I was in Sweden at the time, and I had former clients from Brussels who got back to me, and we won some projects, and then I created a company. But today, this company, and I'm very grateful I took that step. It took a while. Because today this company is helping me supporting organization accessing funding. So I'm focusing mostly on soft funding, so non-dilutive, but through other projects, I'm also working more on supporting women entrepreneurs accessing funding, including equity, access to VC, BAs, and so on. And what inspired me, it's like probably around 5 years ago, during COVID, I started to question myself. Where am I? I don't know if
well, that's what we talk about, the self-doubt. Yeah, where it's coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I feel like the comments in the chat, I think we are all kind of at some point challenged by this imposter syndrome, and building your strengths is actually what makes you different at some point, like daring to take that step and facing those challenges. And so I've started to surround myself. I started to build my network in Sweden, because even if my husband was from there, I mean, I didn't really have a strong support network there.
And it's so important, isn't it?
Absolutely.
to build the supporting network around us. And then, so as we mentioned yesterday as well, so we need to collaborate with those people around us, like-minded women as well. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And finding the right support and the right
Yeah.
network as well. I mean, it's not about only just opening up and joining anyone or so on. It's really like finding the support that you need. So yeah, so I did some coaching and so on, and I had the amazing opportunity to meet great other women who were also like supporting other women. So I joined the Women in Tech Gothenburg as board member. We launched a Malmö office that spun into an alliance, and that led me to meet more other persons, and I became one of the founding member of the European Female Founders Forum, so also helping at European level. And then I slowly started also to question what are my values and how can I best help others. And obviously my expertise with European funding, my European network became quite it became quite obvious that these were kind of strengths on my side, but it took me a while to really kind of acknowledge that and accept that. So my network, plus also surrounding me with coaches, it's been a quite a long journey,
I know,
but
but I
and
think
it's ongoing.
For women joining us today, and then it's really an opportunity for them to know, wow, there was so many initiative, support of that, like yourself, to support those women who's out, looking for funding opportunities, so at least we know they are in place, there are opportunity out there, so it's great, to have you.
And they are very open as well. I mean, they are here to help. So I think it's, I mean, now we work a lot with the European funded projects. So the Wonderfund projects stream it as well to have more girls and women engaged into STEM education and so on. So I think, if it's kind of also like the choices are quite broad. So there should be support somewhere for anyone wherever you are in Europe that can help. And I mean, your initiative is one of them as well. So there's a bunch of places to look at and to get support from.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anne and Charlotte. So the next question, I think you probably covered some of them. It's really about, what do you think the biggest challenge women entrepreneurs face today, and what sort of strategies would you recommend them, to overcome those challenges?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a bunch of challenges. The slides you showed were, I mean, I think, you kind of brought that up, right?
Yeah, thank you.
But I would say access to funding when you're a woman entrepreneur is one of them, but it's also true when you're men. But I think access to funding for women it's even more challenging, and network, and education. So basically for me, it's kind of a loop. You never know, which is the egg and which is the chicken, but it needs to start somewhere. Networks, building a strong network and daring to ask for support. It's because having a network and just not using it doesn't make any sense. But daring to ask for support is also something we need to work more on. And access to funding. So I guess, you need your network to open you doors, to help you accessing those who write the checks, right? The initiatives that like Her Fund, for instance, this is what we are trying to working on, like building a network of investors so we can better support women entrepreneurs. We organize matchmaking events, we organize networking events, training programs. And so those are areas or activities that can also be a place where you can access easily and where you can also get support.
And I think I just want to, talk about a little bit on that investors, because, you're basically, supporting those women to attract investment. And I think on our E4 platform, we actually had a section talk about how you're going to pitch your ideas to investors. So, for those women thinking, I really don't have that knowledge, I want to build. So E4 platform do have those information. So, we would definitely want you to come on to those sessions and learn about how you're going to pitch to your investors. You can learn how to structure it. It's so important to have those knowledge, isn't it?
If I can add something here, it's also like not only about pitching, like having slides that you present on the stage.
Yeah.
I mean, basically we pitch all the time at
Yeah.
any moment.
Yeah.
So it's also like being aware that there can be an opportunity even when I mean, I don't
That's
smoke
right.
anymore, but I used to
Yeah.
meet so many people when I was a smoker.
Yeah.
Like really, like it's insane. And I mean, don't really don't lower those connections, because you don't know who those people are. You don't know who those people know and what they can bring to you. So of course you should not be naive and open up to anything or anyone, but be open to those connections that you make when you go for networking. And maybe it's not the right person, but that person can also lead to opening
other opportunities.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Anne. And then that's gonna leading out to the last question about, because we're talking about the trends in the future. So what do you think, will be the key trends that, see shaping the future of entrepreneurs? And how do we, as women leaders stay ahead of, this, so do you agree with about some of the things we talk about? You might have some innovative ideas.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sound super feminist, right? Because I'm far from being over feminist, but I think we should really play with our superpower. I mean, we are women, we are natural leaders for many of us. And we just need to really like build this resilience, fight this syndrome, whatever it's called, but really like start trusting ourselves, stop comparing ourselves with others. And I think, the way we've been raised or we grew up is what format us today. So I think we should really go beyond that and change the narrative. We should really push forward, not in an aggressive way. And I think most of women were able to do that, but we should really step up and show our leadership and help one another. And there will be space for everyone, because sometimes women towards women, they can be also extremely aggressive. So I don't know what's the fear behind, but because I believe there's always something behind. But I think we should really pass that, those fears, and then really believe, like,
brave,
if I help someone, there's still something for me in there, and so I mean, I apply that to myself as well.
Like proactively seeking those opportunities, isn't it? Yeah, it's
absolutely. So helping one another, really believing that yes, we are capable of doing whatever we want to do. I mean, this has been my motto over the last 5 years. Well, I mean, my journey, looking back, it's like I'm so impressed with what I've been achieved. And of course, I haven't done that alone, and it hasn't been painful. And it's been super painful. It's been, I mean, my family has been impacted by that, some decisions and so on. But I mean, I'm really proud of those steps, and I'm far from where I want to be, but daring and surrounding. I mean, I've been surrounding myself by amazing people that have also helped me to lift myself up. So I think this is really important.
Yeah, like finding the right mentorship that will encourage. And I think, I'd like to thank you as well, for your hard work, empowering, women to grow. There's no limit, isn't it? Got to be brave. And, let's just break that glass ceiling. That's, I think, Chiara later I'm going to talk about growth mindset is so important for women.
Yeah, we should absolutely grow that, and
absolutely.
I mean, there's nothing preventing us except ourselves. I think we are our biggest enemy.
Yes.
And of course, the society, like the structures around us doesn't help. But I mean, there's quite many ways we can also bypass that. And
I think so, we are taking the first step to saying, we recognize it. Let's come up with a strategy how we can overcome that. But thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to listen to your insights, and just want to thank you for all the work you have done to empower women. And for those coming today, go on to her website, go and looking for these opportunities, and get in touch with Anne-Charlotte if opportunity.
I didn't say much about her fund, but please follow the project, because now we have launched a digital platform. There will be more training coming, and on the platform you can also meet and connect with other founders, with investors, So, I mean, of course, it's the beginning of the platform,
Yeah.
so nothing is absolutely perfect, but I think there's a lot of potential there,
Absolutely.
and hopefully we will see you there, and I'm sure we will
Yeah.
probably continue collaborating. So I'm
Oh,
very grateful. Thank you so much for
thank you,
inviting me.
Charlotte. Yeah, it's brilliant. I think, it's exciting to hear there's loads of opportunity out there for women to explore. So thank you so much. And, enjoy the rest of the session.
Thank you.
And so now we're going to talk about the sort of, focus on those key trends that we just mentioned here. So the three major trends shaping leadership today, and they are particularly relevant for women entrepreneurs, and we're definitely going to go through them in a bit more in detail. The first one is about AI and automation. So it is not, AI is no longer just for tech giants. Small and medium-sized business can now use AI to improve efficiency, making data-driven decisions, and enhance customer experience. So, for example, the AI-powered chatbots can handle customer inquiries 24/7, free up your time to focus on more strategic tasks. Digital transformation. So in the tech-driven world, business that fail to embrace digital tools risk being left behind. So whether that's using social media, marketing, or adopting cloud-based tools for collaboration, digital transformation is absolutely essential for staying competitive. And the last one about sustainability. So consumers are increasingly demanding that business operates, responsibly, and then also investors as well. So that means, for example, the sourcing materials ethically, reducing waste, and adopting renewable energies. So sustainability is not just good for the planet, it's also good for overall branding, and create that loyal customers around your business. So very quickly, I want you to have a quick think about, which of these trends do you see impacting your business the most? And we will now looking at, talk about each of the above, key trends in a bit more detail. Yeah, so take a couple of, seconds, just think about what are the trends you think are going to be impacting your business most? Right, we're going to talk about the first thing about AI for women entrepreneurs. So AI, as we all know, artificial intelligence refers to tools that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, such as learning, problem solving, decision making. So for women entrepreneurs, AI offers incredible opportunities for streamline the operations and grow your business. And as I mentioned, chatbot can handle customer inquiries, and then that would free up your time to focus on things on the strategic level to grow your business. And we also have AI-driven marketing tools can analyze customer data to create a personalized campaign, and that would increase engagements and sales. And lastly, about the data analytics can help you make informed decisions by identifying trends and patterns in your business data. So there's a lot of things that you can use, but I want you to think about how do you think, can AI support your business growth? And I've also given you on the slide, you can see, for you to explore different AI tools, there's a website called AI Tools Directory. So you can have a look, each of the sort of operational, whether that would be, marketing, it could be customer service, have a look, explore these tools. And, we don't really have time to go through those, but, we want to give you an opportunity to look out and seeking, actively, proactively seeking those different tools that would be suitable for your business. And then that lead me very well to, when we think about the AI, there's so many tools out there. What can I do as a business owner in terms of, to develop an AI strategy for your business? So how do you effectively integrate AI into your business? We definitely need a clear strategy because, we often very, I feel personally overwhelmed with the different tools out there. But I think, if you're running the business, it's very important to start think about, so, okay, identify what is your business needs and challenges. So what problems are you trying to solve? So for example, if you're looking to improve your customer service, are you looking to streamline your operations, or do you thinking you want to make better decisions? So this is really important. So we need to identify your business needs and challenges. And next thing is, with this, needs in mind or the challenges in mind, you'll be able to look at the many AI tools, to choose the ones that address those specific needs and making sure it's aligned with your business goals. I think is really important. And then once you've look at those tools, then you need to looking at how we're going to pilot and test the AI solutions before the full implementation. So the advice here, I think, is really thinking about start small by testing the AI tools in one area of your business, and then it will help you to understand the impact before you actually scaling up. So this is really, sorry, go back to the slides. I think what happened with the slides. Yeah, so this is really important. On the sector, you get to start small steps before you're going to invest a lot of time and money into it, where you don't really know the impact of that. And then you need to make sure train your employees to adopt AI-driven process. So you need to ensure your team understand how to use AI effectively. And this may require some training, but it will pay off, in the long run. And then, lastly, you need to continuously monitor and optimize AI strategies. So it is not a one-time solution. Continuous monitor its performance and making adjustments as needed. So these are the sort of strategy and the steps you can ensure that AI becomes a valuable asset to your business. So explore those tools. Identify your needs, making sure those tools that align with your business goals, pilot them, train your staff, and making sure you continuously monitor and optimize those strategies. So those are the things you have in place when you wanted to taking your business to future-proof your next level of business. So moving on to the next one. Is about digitalization. I think the AI and the digitalization is somehow integrated, so digitalization referring, sort of integration of digital technology. So AI will be part of it into all areas of the business. So fundamentally, it will change how you deliver value to the customers. So for women entrepreneurs, embracing digitalization is the way to stay competitive and scaling your business. And we're looking at the 5 key areas where digitalization can make the impact. So the first one is about automation, streamlining your repetitive task. So automation is one of the most powerful aspects of this digitalization. It allows you to streamline repetitive tasks, saving time and reducing errors. For example, I think one of the things we put in here is automatic, email marketing. So tools like the MailChimp or Zapier can automate your email campaigns, sending a personalized message to your customers based on their behavior. So you can explore, after the session, go and try and find those tools and see if that will align with your needs, making sure this is, strategically whether there's a problem or issue that you want to solve within your business. And another area of automation is customer relationship management. We all know them as the CRM. The CRM tools like the Salesforce or Zoho, can automate follow-ups with leads and ensuring no potential customers is overlooked. And there's also another areas, I think we also talk about that in our E4All platform, is the AI-powered finance tracking. For example, QuickBooks, Xero, or Sage. We actually give you some examples in the financial module. So for those of you interested and learning about finance, learning about these apps, so go and register on the E4All platform. So those AI-powered tools will help you automate invoicing, expenses tracking, financial reporting, give you a clear picture of your business financial health. And I think it's really important for business owners, keep yourself on top of your financial performance to make sure it's viable. And it's important for you to have those knowledge. And then we have developed those content for you to build your knowledge in those areas. So for this part of automation, the question I want you to think about it as well is, what are the repetitive tasks in your business could be automated? So I want you to have a think about that. You know, is it going to be marketing? Is it going to be the CRM management, customer engagement, relationship management, or financing tracking? Or it could be just operation, you know, checking the stock level, etc. So it is important for you to have a think about, is there any, you know, repetitive task that I can, you know, use these tools to help us automate, save time for me to focus on more important tasks of running the business. And then second part of it is the e-commerce and the online presence, which I think most of us probably will be using that, you know, a lot, you know, in terms of building a strong online presence, you know, in terms of selling products or services, you know, having an e-commerce platform, for example, like Shopify, or you're using the social media platform like Instagram or Facebook, and it serves those additional sales channels. And I'm sure most of us are very familiar with those areas. And then the third part of the digitalization is about the cloud-based collaboration. So the tools like remote working, collaboration tools, for example, the Teams, the Google Workplace, you know, help us a seamless communication and collaboration. So no matter where your team is located. So think about, you know, are you currently using those collaboration tools? And which one do you think will benefit your team? As a business owner, if you have people working remotely in different maybe part of the country, or, you know, internationally as well. And you know, the fourth one's about data analytics. You know, we all know data is now the new gold, and the data analytics tools can help you make informed decisions by identifying trends and patterns in your business. So for example, we got Google Analytics, track website traffic and customer behaviors. You know, I think, you know, when I was working with those businesses, and I often, you know, ask them those questions, do you have those statistics behind you? And how are we going to use those data to help you make some important decisions about your business? And, you know, I'm not really surprised that sometimes they don't really know where to find those data, you know, so it's important to collect and actively seeking those data. And there's also like the Power BI, you know, visualize the data to help you understand the performance metrics. And then we use here as, you know, when we're tracking, we have part of a CRM model of software. And also, you know, you might want to get some, you know, customer insights, you know, tools like the SurveyMonkey, you know, they can help you, you know, gather some feedback and then improving your offering. So this is really important, you know, so gathering those data and making sure you analyze those data and help your business making informed decisions based on those data. And then lastly, about the cyber security, you know, we all think, you know, it is really important as we digitalize the business, you know, cybersecurity becomes a top priority. So we need to protecting our data, the systems, you know, from the cyber threats, ensure our business remains secure and trustworthy. You know, some of the key measures, you know, including using a strong password and two-factor authentication, regularly updating the software and system, and investing in cybersecurity tools like antivirus, firewalls, you know. So some example, like, you know, if you have a small business suffered a data breach, could lose your customer trust, you know, face significant financial losses. So those are really important areas we need to look at when we're thinking about, you know, how our business can benefit from digitalization. So take a couple of seconds to think about, you know, we went through those different areas, and what are the areas your business could benefit from digitalization? And are there any digital tools you have curious about but haven't explored? You know, how you can start integrating those tools into your business? And you might want to share. Sorry.
If I may, yeah, and we've had some really good chat messages going on here,
Brilliant.
so I thought
Yeah.
I'd just bring you up to speed a little bit. I know obviously when you're sharing the screen, it's not so easy to see the
Yeah, I
chat.
can't
We've got
see
some
the
good
chat
messages
yet, yeah.
here. Paula is saying that she uses Google Workspace and
Brilliant.
it's been a game changer because everything's centralized. I agree. It's nice to know, okay, I've got my files, I've got my chat, I can share things all in one space. It definitely makes things easier. And I don't know about you, Paula, but within our organization, our filing system probably needs some work. So knowing that it's centralized is a big help.
Yeah.
We've also got a message from Lisa saying, starting small and learning how best to apply AI has been a good approach for me to build my confidence. And I think confidence is important there, because lots of these digital tools, whether it's AI or it's the digitalization tools we're seeing here, you don't just instantly know how to use them when you come across them. And even if a friend, a colleague shares it with you, say, hey, you're really going to like this tool, it can do A, B, and C. You need some time to learn how to use it.
And I think, you're absolutely right about, building the confidence. But one of the thing about to build your confidence is taking actions, So I want to encourage every single one of you after the session, go to those and explore those AI and try on. There's so many tutorials on, online where you can learn how to use them. And, I self-taught myself a lot, but I do feel like overwhelmed, like something I learned today and tomorrow will be something new coming up, but it's, keep yourself learning, continuously, and, and bite-sized learning, is really important. Taking the action would definitely help you to build the confidence in terms of embracing AI. So thank you so much. Just let me know, Megan, if you see any really good chat.
Yeah, well,
to share
two other things I'd like to mention as well. A good message here from Bassem, who works in the agri-food sector. And they say that AI supports business growth by enhancing economic efficiency through cost reduction. I think that's fantastic. That's a really good use case where this is a specific field that maybe many of us in the room don't have experience with agri-food, but you can see, okay, with the supply chain logistics, you can see how AI can help there, and other digital tools as well. And then the final message, and I'll hand back to you, Jan, is a message from Emma, which I think is really interesting. Emma says, fighting to make it clear that AI helps humans and does not replace them. I think that's a really great sentiment.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's absolutely right. So at the end of the day, I think, if I think about AI, you talk about artificial intelligence, but my way of interpreting an AI would be machine learning. I think, they will, I think that ultimately they can't replace what human does, but they will be great tool, and that will help us to do things maybe human can't do. So I would definitely take the opportunity to integrate, so they will not replace human, but will probably replace those people who don't use it, who are taking that step to embrace it. So this is really why we have this session to encourage, empower women to go and take some actions and try them to see if that's going to really benefit your business. So brilliant. Thank you very much, Megan.
And Tatiana shared on the chat a nice list of AI tools, a directory for AI tools that I'm definitely going to check out and see and start exploring. As you say, it's a bit of trying out things and see if they work for you. So thank you, Tatiana, for sharing that. It's a good start for some of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've also had that AI directory. So, for those of you interested, go and try them as well. And we mentioned some of them. So go and explore. But I've shown you the strategy. We need to think about our business, what our business needs are. And then we go, we'll go out and then with a purpose in mind, thinking, okay, these are the areas we want to develop. Yeah. So going back to the digitalization. So by embracing those digitalization, you can streamline the operation, reach your new markets and build a more resilient and scalable business. So again, I think someone said earlier as well, they like the ideas, but let's start small, experiment, and continue to adapt as the technology evolves. We are definitely going to be, using those little steps to help us to improve and enhance into overall business operation. Thank you again. So keep your chat coming. So it's great. We have people bring different ideas, and different perspective. And then, we're all going to share the tools that you have this brilliant opportunity for, women support each other. So this is a great opportunity as well. So thank you very much for those actively, go and, putting those information for us. We really, really appreciate that. So we're going to talk about the next sort of a pillar here, it's about sustainability. Sustainability is not, just not optional now. It's necessary for long-term business survival, because we talk about sustainability, there's probably two, aspect of that. It is what does it really mean about sustainability? And one way is about, be eco-friendly, about the business that is ethical, resilient, and financial sustainability is also important, on the other side of it. So we got, the list of the sort of what does it actually mean. The first one about ethical sourcing, where do we, have our materials coming from? Are they sourced, responsibly? We're using local, fair trade materials, can reduce some of the environmental impact, support local communities. Are you using renewable energy? Are you reducing waste? Small changes like switching to energy efficient lighting or reducing packaging can really make a big difference. And, when we talk about sustainability, it is also about, financial sustainability. Do you have a diverse income stream? Are you planning for the future? So the financial sustainability, it means ensure your business can, weather economic downturns and continue to grow. Like, I really like the, where we talk about the income stream in our financial module is really, we can't really have one, source of income. It's always good to have a diversified income stream. And we actually discussed that in the E4 platform, specifically about how, as business owner, looking at different ways of bring different income stream. And then this is actually showing how resilience as well in terms of a business trying to be sustained financially. And it's also looking at, how you're thinking about strategically how your business is going to grow. Are you building a business can adapt to market change? So this is all very important. And lastly, about the longevity of the brand, are you building a purpose-driven brand that resonates your customer? So the strong branding can help you stand out, in a crowded market, place. So again, a question over to you. You can have a think about maybe, jot down some notes. What are the sustainable practice have you integrated in your business? Happy to share with us. Feel free to share, or you can make some notes, have some reflections as we go along. And it's important.
Yeah, it would be great if some of our super experienced audience and would share with us what they're trying, and so that we can learn from each other. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Mariana. So I think, I'm absolutely delighted to have our next guest speaker. Let's welcome Chiara Menini as our guest speaker, who will share some insights on developing a growth mindset to future-proof your business. So I will hand it over to Chiara, and I'll share the first slides, and you let me know when you want the next slides.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Jan, and it's great to be here. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's such an inspiring webinar. I mean, I loved it, and the chat is so inspiring. There is such a positive, supportive community. So it's really great, and a lot of value and a lot of interesting things said before. And I just want to build also on what was said before, like, for example, right now, how to build a sustainable business. You were talking about financial sustainability, which is such a challenge for many business owners and aspiring entrepreneurs. But also you said about starting small and experiment. So it's something I'm also going to talk about. And also I really like what Anne-Charlotte said before. And she said that we are actually our biggest enemies sometimes. And I'm also going to explain like why. So the title, let's say, of this sort of intervention is really like getting practical steps to really future-proof your business through a growth mindset. But what is a growth mindset? So before going into that, I would like you to really go through this little exercise and read each statement here and decide which one you agree the most with. So it's about really understanding the difference between having a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And particularly, I wanted to hear from you if you agree most with the number one. So the fact that, for example, your entrepreneurial capacity and competence is something very basic about you, but you can't really change it very much. So this is the first one. And the second one is that the fact that you can learn actually new things, but you can't really change how entrepreneurial you are. The third one says, no matter how much entrepreneurial you are, you can always change it quite a bit. And the fourth one says that you can always substantially change how entrepreneurial you are. So I would love to read in the chat whether you agree mostly with the first, second, third, or fourth. So the first one very much being about the fact that you can't very much change your entrepreneurial competence. The second one is that you can't really change, you can learn, but you can't really change how entrepreneurial you are. And the third one is no matter how much entrepreneurial you are, you can always change it, but just quite a bit, right? Not completely. And the fourth is that you can actually substantially change how entrepreneurial you are. So it's great to hear your responses, to read actually your responses. And I think that mostly I would say 90% we are for the third. I see 1 second, like one going for the number 2. So actually, this is actually coming from this exercise from a book of Carol Dweck. It's called Mindset, the New Psychology of Success. And actually the difference, so the right answer, let's say, are the last two. So the fact that this is actually something they've done not only with entrepreneurial competencies, but with IQ. So they were actually asking themselves, these scientists, whether IQ is something fixed that you can't really change, or is actually something that you can substantially improve. And what they found, recent scientists, is that actually is not either nature or nurture or genes or environment, but actually we do have like some natural characteristics, like how entrepreneurial we are, our IQ, but actually through the nurturing of our natural elements, and also the environment is actually very important to actually trigger our genes. So that means that it's not that either you are entrepreneurial or you have a specific IQ, but it's very much about really learning, and learning is very much key. Because the first and the second, they are representation of a fixed mindset. So the fact that we think that we cannot really very much change how entrepreneurial we are. And the third and the fourth, they are a representation of a growth mindset. And the main difference between the two, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset, is about thinking that by learning new knowledge, new skills, and getting new competencies, you can actually change all of these elements, like your IQ, how entrepreneurial you are. So it's very much key to understand that we can actually learn these things, and we can always improve and learn new things to really get to the point. So going back to what Anne-Charlotte was saying, that we are our biggest enemies, because sometimes we think that we cannot simply do certain things because it's not for us, or we are not really tailored for that. But this is completely wrong, and science is also supporting that, saying that we can grow our competencies and skills and learn new things, and by doing that we can really get into a growth mindset, so that we can really reach our goals, our objectives. So to me is very much empowering.
And I think, I completely agree with you, Chiara, because we were doing some sessions around about mind and money, and then one of the things we talk about, about the science, is about the neural and plasticity. So we do have a habit thinking that, but we do have a the science has proved we can change things, like we change from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, and it's a skill you can learn, can develop, so this is absolutely important.
Yeah, indeed, absolutely. And I think the most important is really realizing that, and really going and embracing that mindset, because it's a mindset, right? It's a mindset, like thinking that you can learn new things and you can grow what you do and who you are, and connecting to these and going to the next slide. So what does it mean also? What's the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset for like an entrepreneur? What does it mean for entrepreneurship? And this is very much connected about future-proofing our business ideas, our entrepreneurial ideas, because having a fixed mindset in entrepreneurship means that you have an idea and then you think that you just build a business plan and you just go for it, and it's like a straight line, and which has been proven that is actually very much wrong in the methodology because of, well, all of the challenges we are facing: environmental, social, economic challenges, financial sustainability. These are all challenges that means that we always need to actually have more of a experimentation and growth mindset, because is very much needed to understand what works and what doesn't work in a business idea, in an entrepreneurial idea, and learn from it, and really refine our ideas in embracing more of a growth mindset for our businesses. And how can we actually also, how can we have practical steps in actually embracing this growth mindset as entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs? So something that I usually very much like is the value proposition statement, which is a sort of what you can see here. And it's a sort of very quick way to actually understand what's the value of your business. And by starting with that, we can also think about ways to actually experiment and start small with our ideas. So if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, I would invite you to actually think about what's the value of what you're building, of your business idea, by understanding, for example, just filling out this sentence here. So my or our product or service helps thinking about who is your product, whom is your product and service helping? So what's your target, your customer, and your user? That once here you need to think about what's the objective of your customer and your user, and then thinking about how are you actually reducing and eliminating some customer pains of your customer, but also thinking about the gains that your customer would get with actually your idea. So for example,
this is very much, like a value proposition, what value and what problems are you solving, isn't it? And how you're going to solve it. Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah, and it's actually very useful to actually figure out what are how is your idea and your assumptions, because actually when you are in the first stages of your entrepreneurship, let's say, journey, you have a lot of assumptions, and then it might be that the target is not the right one, or that the customer objective, you didn't get it right. It's just your assumption that they have that specific need or problem. And so I think that starting with that is a very good starting point, and identifying what are the assumptions. And then a very nice way to actually experiment and start small is with the prototypes. I put some prototypes here. You can there can be product, but also services can be prototyped. So it could be a paper prototype, but it could also be using digitalization. Actually, a newsletter with the link to subscribing to a webinar could also be a prototype in understanding whether your users share, the customers you have in mind actually have that specific problem or need. And something I used before and I very much like as a digital and analogical and digital tool together is a tool called Prototyping on Paper. So it's actually an app in which you can actually design, like draw yourself the different screens of an app, for example. And then you can, through the app, you can take a picture of the different screens, of the different like drawings that you've done, and make it in an actual app in an easy way and very cost-effective way. And then you can actually send it out to some customers, potential customers or users, and actually understand whether there is an interest in your app, how are they interacting, did you get it right, the customer need or the customer pain. I think it's a very good starting point to really get into a growth mindset. And I think that just finishing now, I see we're almost at the end. I think the most important is also to do it while having fun and really learning from it. So really iterating this process, understand what works, what doesn't work with our business idea, but it could also be about experimenting new AI tools for our business. Seeing, does it work? Does it apply to what I'm doing? Like learn from it and do another iteration. Maybe there could be a different tool that we could use. So I want to finish with that. I think the most important is also having fun and learning and really continuing this learning learning journey to really embrace
Absolutely.
a
Yeah.
real growth mindset.
Oh, thank you so much, Chiara. I think, your, sort of contribution sort of summarized in terms, we're looking at the future proof, but how, as women entrepreneurs to adopt those growth mindset to help you to develop those skills, empowering and embracing those, changes, innovations, how helping, at this quite fast pacing space, how you can catch up with yourself. Yeah. Thank you so much, Chiara, for
Absolutely.
your contribution. And then those tools you mentioned is brilliant. We're gonna share with the with the group as well. So I think let's just lead us to the sort of the final reflection and action about the summarize the session about future proofing is about staying adaptable, innovative, proactive in the face of change. So the change, innovation, and the sustainability are the pillars of future-proof leadership. So the world is changing rapidly. So as women entrepreneurs, we have the opportunity to lead the way by embracing these changes. So we want to sort of take a moment, as you we finish the session, to think about how you're going to develop those strategies in your business. Maybe think about one small actionable step that you can take today and start future-proofing your business. And then maybe, like, Chiara, and we talk about, Angela was, talk about earlier about maybe just exploring something new, AI tools, perhaps, it will be commit to more sustainable practice, whatever that is. Let's take that first step. Taking an action is actually the most important thing to build your confidence. And, thank you all for all the engagement and insights, that you shared in the chat. So we will be definitely, share with everyone. And I think is a brilliant example of how, we as women entrepreneurs supporting each other and then to shape the future of women's leadership and entrepreneurship. And I think the final call is, as I mentioned throughout the session, is connect with us on LinkedIn and join us on the Entrepreneurship4All Academy community for continued support and the resources. So thank you very much for joining today. I think we're just right on time. So a couple of minutes, behind the time. So maybe just pass to Megan to, if there's anything you need to
Thank you. Thank you, Jan. And thank you everyone for staying online. We've just gotten past the hour, but I appreciate you staying here. I know some people have had to leave already, and that's totally understandable too. I've been sharing a few things in the chat and I've been really appreciating all the messages that are shared there. I'll be doing a little bit of a recap after the session to send it out to everyone. I do kindly ask if you've got 2 minutes to spare that you can take a look at our survey, which I've shared in the chat, and I will share it once again in a moment. But let me just, here we go. I've got the meeting chat in the way. There are a couple of things there in the chat that you'll see. Firstly, our fantastic resources guidebook. It's full of information there, links to all of the different things that some we've mentioned in the chat, some will be new to you as well, and this will be updated throughout the week with more and more information. You've got the link in the chat and you can scan it here as well. And as I said, if you've got 2 minutes that you can give us some feedback, it would be really, really helpful to us. If you're just joining us for today, do it today. If you want to wait until after tomorrow's session, that's also okay. And let's take a look. The final thing to just say is that we will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. We're back at 12 o'clock European time. That's 11 o'clock in the UK, or check your local time, I should say. The next session will be Women's Health at Work. We think this is a really valuable topic. We're going to be touching on lots of interesting things there, which I'm sure many people have experienced issues or problems with their health at work. So it's very valuable for us to look at this. And of course, you are very welcome to share anything through our LinkedIn group, which we've shared in the chat. Please post in there, please get active, because there's been so much great discussion going on and we'd love to continue that. So thank you so much.